So this is my new Fezzari Cascade Peak. Just got it less than a week ago. I've ridden it 4 times, I think. I got about, I don't know, 30, 40 miles on it. Just want to do a quick review. So far, so good. It's awesome. Awesome bike. It's a 29er. And it has a GX drive, SRAM 1x12. Essentially, this model, the Cascade Peak, is the upgraded version of the Abajo Peak, which is their very popular bike, the entry-level mountain bike. The difference between the Abajo and the Cascade is that Cascade has a better drivetrain, better brakes, better suspension, and like I said, it comes with a GX drive. The cassette is stamped out of aluminum versus the NX, which is stamped out of steel. My previous bike, which is over here, has the NX drive. You can see the crankshaft with a dub bottom bracket, and also the 1x12. The brakes on the Cascade are SRAM G2R. Really good brakes. 180 millimeter rotor in the front, 160 in the back. I would have preferred a 180 in the back. So far, doesn't seem to be an issue. The brakes work really well. They are pretty powerful. However, I may change the rear rotor to 180 later on. My previous bike, which is obviously a much lower end bike, came with 180 on both front and back, and with Tektro brakes, which should be inferior to these brakes. But these brakes work really well. Anyway, the rear suspension is 130 millimeters. It's their 4-link, Tetralink, I believe it's called, rear suspension. It comes with a Fox Evolve float with a 3-position switch, and the front suspension is a Diamond DVO D1, 140 millimeters travel. It's a pretty awesome fork, actually. It's probably one of the most adjustable forks on the market. It has low and high compression, adjustability on the top here. The big black knob is a high compression. The lime green colored smaller button is the low compression. It has, of course, its usual rebound control, but also it has something called OTT, which means off the top. What that does is, when you adjust it for more sensitivity, it will absorb the initial part of the stroke, your usual small chatter stuff on the trails like rocks and roots. It will make that very supple without affecting the rest of the stroke, your mid-stroke or the end of your stroke. So you can adjust it to whatever you want, your weight and air pressure, but that bottom initial stroke, the OTT, will keep the very initial part of the stroke very plush. I've been playing around with it. It's still tuning the fork in, and it's so far it's pretty good. Especially seems to handle the big hits really well. My previous bike, I had upgraded this to a RockShox RL 35, and this is a really good fork. It doesn't have the adjustability. Doesn't have as the Diamond. It doesn't have OTT. Doesn't have high compression and low compression adjustability. Just compression adjustability. It was a really good fork. But this one's really getting my attention now. It came with a 780 millimeter handlebar, pretty wide. Front tire is a Maxxis DHF, rear tire is a Maxxis Aggressor. It also comes with a X-Fusion Manic dropper post. Anyway, yeah, the geometry, the head angle is 66.9 degrees. The seat tube is a very steep 75.5 degrees. So the cockpit is very compact. It feels like you're riding almost right over the front handlebar, but it does put you in a very good position for pedaling, almost like a neutral, position. If you can see, you're sitting essentially right over the bottom bracket, which makes pedaling very efficient, and it does climb really well. Anyway, let's go for a little ride. Climb. Dropper away with it. Dropper. Dropped. Features of not walk on the park, that tree. Watch my handlebars there. Really rocky quarry. This handle really well. Really good tires for this terrain. Very dry.
my seat for this.